Hey guys, how's it going? We're working on a 2015 Chevrolet Sonic. I'm sure a lot of people have had issues with their touch screen not working. No matter where you touch on the screen, it just won't activate. It won't, you can use your steering wheel controls, they still work, but the touch screen just will not work. This one came in, the touch screen doesn't function. It does power on, the radio still works, but we can't touch anything on the screen, it won't work. So we're gonna change the screen and the digitizer. We purchased a unit on eBay. It was brand new. It comes with the digitizer and the screen itself. That's the best way to do it. We're gonna show you really quick how to take the radio out, how to change that, put it back in, get it functioning. Show you what we're talking about here. You can see nothing on this screen works. The buttons down below work fine, but that screen is just dead. We tried the old trick of heating the screen up with a hairdryer. Some people say they had luck with that. This one is not as lucky. Does not work. So we're going to show you how to change that. First, you're going to turn the vehicle off. You can disconnect your battery. You can go ahead and start by prying these two pocket panels off here. We use a plastic pry tool. As you can see, this is how it comes out. Those are what the clips look like. Be careful removing these. You don't want to break the clips. Set them to the side. Go ahead and repeat the process here. Pull on these corners. Use your pry tool around the edges to get it off. Next step, after you get both of those corners off, you're going to see it allows you a little spot on these corners to pry on. So you want to, once again, very carefully take your pry tool here, just on both corners. You'll see as well on that corner, you can see that little pocket there. Pry around very carefully, pull the screen out this way, or not the screen, but the bezel here. This one was a little tougher. We actually ended up taking a very long flathead, pressing it in here, and very gently putting pressure on the edges just to pop that forward. So you can see it popped forward for us. So it is coming out here. But we did it on both corners with a large flathead and put a little bit of pressure here. Be careful because these will get sun dried and they will crack very easily, and then you'll end up having to replace this as well. As you can see, that's exactly what it's going to look like as it comes out. You can see where the clip locations are, so you know where to pry and pull on. That's what it looks like once it's off. Very next step is take this 7mm here. I'm going to go ahead and remove all four of these that are around the radio. Loosen these up. Be careful not to drop them. Set them to the side. To get all four of these out, this screen should come forward here. As you can see, very gently pull it forward. Use two hands because you're going to have some connectors in the back here. First connector is going to have this bar. You're going to push the bar down, pull out. That one right there. These ones are fairly basic connectors, as you can see. Push that tab, pull that out. This one has a tab underneath. You're going to slide both of these out as well. Now your radio should be fully removed. You can see we had a total of 4 connectors on the back end of it. That's what the back looks like here. Now we can take this inside and work on the screen replacement. This was a screen on eBay that we bought. You can see it's for the Chevy Spark and the Sonic. It's only $56 with free shipping. And it's basically, if your screen looks like that digitizer and screen should work. You can see when we got it here, this is what it shows up like. I'm going to start by removing these mounting screws on the side of your screen. There should be 1, 2, 3 on each side. Remove those first. It's a Phillips head. As you can see, take those 3 screws out. These come right off. Put them to the side. Next, you're going to come on top. After you get both brackets off, you're going to take a smaller Phillips head. Remove these 2 screws here. Next, you're going to come to the side here. You've got 1, 2, 3 screws should be on both sides. Remove those. You want to put a lot of pressure as you're removing these so you don't strip these out too. Just make sure you got the right size Phillips head. After you get all those screws removed, remember you got 1, 2, 3 on each side of this. This thing will actually come out. Be very careful not to rip these. As you come in here, you'll see 2 little black connectors that flip up. Very carefully remove that film. You see that black little connector there? There's another one down here in the bottom. Has a bunch of white lines on it. You're actually going to pull up on that very gently, and then the film will actually just come out the top. After you remove the screen, it should look like that. Like I said, that was that black thing that flips down and locks that into place. So you just want to barely flip that black piece up and then pull. Don't really pull up, but it just comes right out. If you're tugging on something, be careful because you don't want to rip it. Next step, you want to very carefully remove 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this 5th one here. So remove these screws, and then you'll be able to get this backing piece off. After removing the 1, 2, 3, 4, and then that 5th screw there, you're going to want to pry very gently on the sides here. Remember, you got this film here you don't want to damage. So you can take a flat head. You can see the little pocket hole right there. And then you can also pry on the outside here to remove this casing, this back casing. And then you can see that removes right out. That exposes this whole back here. Next step, you're going to go for these. You got one there, one here on the black, one down there on the black, and then one up here on the black. The board you can leave alone for now. So just remove those screws. As you can see, once you get these out, you've got these connectors here. You want to be very careful. Probably wear some latex gloves. To remove this side one, you want to actually pull that clip out, and then this strip will actually slide out here, as you can see. This one here is going to have one of those flip up here. You see that? That flips right up. The strip here. Like I said, you do want to wear gloves. I ordered some gloves. I'm currently out of them. Very carefully without getting oil or anything on this board. After you flip that up, you want to pry this up. As you pull it up, this one does slide out a little bit and then up, and then as you can see, it's free now. This one here flips up, and then that film is going to slide out as well. Once you have all of these connectors, you're going to want to go ahead and very gently go to the front and press on the screen. As you can see, it's already trying to come out. I'm going to flip it around and use 2 hands. You're going to press around the screen to release that adhesive that they had on there. As you can see now, that looks like that. The screen lifted off. Like I said, very gently pressing around the edges of the screen. You can see that's our digitizer there. That's what we're replacing. Once you get all of these removed, you'll see it's here. That's what the board looks like, just like that. Now you're going to get your new board here and go ahead and replace this one. After you get that LCD screen in place, you want to make sure very carefully, like I said, you don't want to get oil on the board, that this connector is through here and then this connector's through there as you slide the board back on. Then you're going to reverse this, so you're going to push that back down and in. Make sure that black housing goes down on top. As you slide it in too, you want to make sure it goes all the way in. You can see there's a black line, a guide line. And when it's all the way in, then you can flip that top piece down. Make sure it's all the way up and in, and then you're going to flip this down. With this side one, you're going to see a little tiny black door that flips up. You slide this in all the way to the white line, then flip that tiny black door down. It's going to be this door right there, that door. After you have those connected, now you're ready to set it back into the base here. Remember, you got this connector here. It's going to go up through there into where that door is. Don't forget to take the plastic off before you put it into this base. Mind your fingers, because it should have adhesive around the whole screen, and that's what it's going to adhere to in that base. Once you have that through here all the way, go ahead and press down on the edges so that adhesive seats it in there. Make sure that connector slides all the way down into place, and then you're going to put that housing back down to lock it in, but it's got to be all the way up in there. This side one, you're going to actually, with that clip out, I didn't actually show it, but you're going to slide that one all the way in and then push this brown clip in. So to remove it, you had to remove this little brown clip forward, then it comes out, slide it all the way in and put the brown clip in and make sure it's tight. Next, you're ready to put your backing plate on. You're going to make sure that these slide through the backing plate along with this one on the side. Don't forget to put your black screws in 1, 2, 3, 4 before you put that back plate on. After you slide these through, you're going to go ahead and replace these screws that you removed down here. Once you get those 4 screws back in, now you're ready to put the main LCD back in. You're going to remember you got this one goes down here all the way in, flip that top down. Same thing with this, goes on top all the way in, flip the top down, just like that one. Once you get those 2 back in, you want to slide this back in. Go ahead and replace these screws. Go ahead and replace the brackets as well. Don't forget your screws on top. After you get all those screws back on, you got the brackets back on, ready to go ahead and reinstall your screen in your car. Now once you're back in your car, you're going to go ahead and reinstall these connectors first. They go on just how they came off. So you get all 4 connectors in. Now you're ready to go ahead and place your screen back in there and replace those 1, 2, 3, 4 screws. Once you get those 4, I believe they were 7mm bolts back in, screws back in. Gonna go ahead and take your main piece here and go ahead and press this back in. Make sure the clips line up. Don't press it if it's not fitting, because you might have a clip not lined up. Snap this piece back in. Once that piece is completely back in, you want to take your corner pieces here. Don't forget those. Go ahead and replace them. Those just literally snap back in. 1, 2. Look at that. It's all back together. Now it's time to test our work here. Let's go ahead and start this one up. Let's see if we got a screen that is actually functioning now. It's taking a minute for the screen to boot up. There it goes. It's booting up. Perfect. We got a radio here. Okay. We got a touch screen working. Volume's working. Go back. Audio. Look at that. Screen's working now. Great job, guys. Thanks again for tuning in. Once again, if you guys could like and subscribe. If you do have any questions about any vehicles, we do different vehicles every single week. If you have any questions, you can always private message us. We're here for you 24/7. Appreciate you guys. Have a great one. Thanks again.